turbo class is fun, forced induction, but I'm at the point where the car is consistent, runs 9.0s, 8.9, and I just want to change. I used to street race this all motor car back in 2017, and a car made like 400 wheel, full street car, full interior, and then we just said, hey, we want to compete. We really want to compete in a class, at the same time as we're doing this at home in the backyard. So what class can we go in that's, I'm not saying it's affordable, but like all motor car can last a season on the same long block. So we figured we would compete in all motor, and this was back 2017, and then there wasn't too much hype around all motor. All motor was calm. So we figured I'll part out the car. It was a street car back then, and then I'll buy everything for an all motor pro car.
So when you started getting into like the all motor pro build, when did you realize what it took? Like, did you think it was going to be more expensive, less expensive? Like, what were you thinking when you were going to hop into this class?
So back in 2015 is when we really started racing. We started entering the IFO class because there was no rules. So back in 2015, me and Jamie were always together at the track, and I watched him, progress from 950 was his first pass at the track that day when we went. And I always talked to Jamie about his car, what it takes. I've seen the struggles he went through, the good, the bad. So I always talked to Jamie along the line, and asked him questions, and he was always honest with me. And so 2015, I watched Jamie race, and at the same time, like, he helped me with my car. And then that's where it all started. And then I had this car for the street. So I raced in the Bronx a couple times. I raced here. When people see ITBs, they get scared. So I didn't get too many races. But this motor, actually, I had a red motor car back in 2015. And then the red was just bad luck. I lost maybe like 5 motors that season. Ended up just switching the red for the blue. And then I was on the same motor all season. Today, I called KJ up, and I asked him, I said, yo, if you got time, I want to get the car aligned. Aligning helps, with 60 foot, and a certain person obviously has to do it. Certain specs, I want to say. You can put the specs to the OEM specs, and some people put, like, they have their race specs. But Kyle's, like, really knowledgeable with that. You don't want to just go to the track and put your car together and cut bad 60 foots. All motor, the race is in the 60 foot. So that's what matters the most. So I've been racing since I was maybe 14, 15 years old, and I always talk to Luke, and I had a 4-piston head back on this car. I had a regular block, I just put a 4-piston head. Luke was always there for me. I answered every question I had. He gave me advice, what to do, what not to do. And this was back when I was in high school, and he always steered me in the right direction. Ever since then, I've always stayed with him. He's been loyal to me, and I've been loyal back to him. So that's what made me stick with them. So those of you who know me know that I've had this car the whole time. And this is a aluminum rod motor, 4-piston, and Speed Factory built the long block. And this car has been running for 6 years on the same bearings, And those of you who know about motors know aluminum rods are, you gotta change them out. Some people change them out every season. 6 years on the same long block speaks a lot, it speaks volumes. Other companies, I can't say the same, I've seen someone drop water in the ITBs into a 4-piston long block at the track. And then they turned the car on without spark plugs, took the water out, and that thing ran 940 next pass. So that alone,
Yeah, we have, honestly, we don't really take a lot of pictures or post a lot of stuff on social media, but we've built a lot of cars for people in maybe the past 4 or 5 years. So we do, and then a lot of people send us messages, DM us on Instagram and stuff, ask us how to do stuff, or ask us if we can help them or put them in the right path. We'll be able to do that also as well.
Our race season just began, and So it just began this week. So that's why we're got the car ready, and hopefully get on the list before summertime.
The cars can obviously come off in one piece. I'm not sure. It's probably gonna make somewhere like 500 horsepower.
500 wheels.
For me, like the thing that amazes me, like when I see this, his motor car is gonna be as fast as his turbo car, which is like insane to me. You know, like that's the thing I can't wrap my head around just yet.
So I get a lot of questions all the time. People don't know the difference. People think, oh, you went from a motor before to a turbo car. You know, a lot of people don't know that. I have 4 blue hatchbacks, and they're all different builds. And so this car, I always had it. I had it since 2015, and it's always been all motor. And this car's always been turbo. And I have another street car, and I have an all-wheel drive car, and they're all blue. And it's like it's my favorite color in the EG hatchbacks. And I keep all cars the same. I like carbon fiber, and one thing, you know, I like OEM stuff and OEM looking stuff. So I keep the same front ends. You know, it's obviously harder to get, and I like, you know, original stuff to make it look original, all factory moldings. You know, this front is like the closest OEM looking front end. So if I could put stock fenders on and fit the slicks, I would do it, but you know, obviously can't. But you know, the car looks great with the carbon. I'm gonna put carbon doors, and only thing left would be blue is the quarters and the bumper. So they're great people over there. You know, they build badass shit. Like I've seen these motors go back to back rounds, you know, and without having no problem, just oil changes.
The reliability of these motors too, they give you confidence to keep competing also as well. So, you know, you don't want to spend all this money on a car, and next thing you know, you lose a motor first pass, second pass in. You know, some people can't afford to keep losing motors like that.
Our biggest thing is, you know, we're coming into a motor game. I don't want anybody to think that we're coming in here for the hype or whatever is going on. There's a lot of controversy going on motor. We've been building this car. We built this car back, you know, 2016, and we built it for All Motor Pro car around the same time. And now we're just coming out with the car. So our goals for this year is to make it into an 8-second all motor car. You know, I feel like it's possible with the right team, and I feel like I have the best team, and we can make it happen. Yeah, so I put the chute on. Obviously, I have never ran this car at any track event. The parachute is just motivation, you know, to get me, you know, to the 8th. You know, I always say I'll have motivation. I'll leave the chute on the back. It'll be like on my mind, I have to go 8th, you know. I'm not going to stop till I do.
To us, the turbo car we have, it seems like a simple build. So we want to show people that we're able and capable of going that fast and building cars of that caliber of a car, you know. So to me, I mean, we do want to go into the class also and compete on, you know, on the fuel steps with everybody else and have fun, and hopefully maybe just win like a Honda Day or something. That's one of the goals we have also. So we're not just chasing a number too. We want to go out there and we want to show people we can compete.
At the same time, get on, you know, the M1 list and get on the outlaw list. You know, I want to show people that we can do both. You know, not just throw fuel in the car and go fast.
Who are you worried about there? Who are you worried about out there in all motor?
Nobody. Nobody, man. We're not worried about anybody. Never been worried about anybody. We're just gonna go out there and do our thing this year.
Yeah, we stay in our own lane. You know, we're really cool. We just have a small circle, and we just go out there and have fun. You know, that's what it's all about.
Honestly, this all started back in the day when we were kids. We just started building cars in our backyard. Our first K car was back in high school days, back in 2008. So we just been building cars ever since, and we always wanted to get to this point, but we just never had the money to, you know, to build a car like this. So now that we're, you know, later on in life, we're doing pretty good now that we have a love and passion for this, we just want to keep going, you know.
At the same time, you know, we love doing it, you know. I want to turn it into a business, you know. So at the same time, it's like people come to the track and see my car, hey, I want to build something like this, or I want to be at the top of this class, or I want to do this, you know. So it's kind of like a billboard, you know. And you go out there, show people what you can do, what you can build. You know, I'll have different types of cars. You know, it's not only just all motor. You want a 1050 car. You want a 950 car. You know, it's that a lot of people. A lot of people only have one car, so we're trying to build a car for almost every class, or you know that type of thing. You know, I have an all-wheel drive car coming out, sport front, and all motors. So
A lot of people, they build cars for clout or whatever. We have a true passion for this. Like, we love doing this. This is what we've been doing for years. It's always been Hondas, from turbo cars to all-motor cars, basic street cars up until now. I remember the first car we built was his 2000 Civic Si. We were, we're still young at the time. We didn't even know how to do a motor swap yet. But we put a whole bunch of bolt-ons on the car, and the car made power. And ever since then, we just been, had the drive just keep going faster and faster. We don't really take a lot of pictures or post a lot of stuff on social media, but we've built a lot of cars for people in maybe the past 4 or 5 years. So we do, and then a lot of people send us messages, DM us on Instagram and stuff, ask us how to do stuff, or ask us if we can help them or put them in the right path. We'll be able to do that also as well.